Welcome back to my channel. Left paradise, back to reality, back to work, back to making the bills work. Now, this might be the scenario for many of you guys, or many of you guys are thinking, should I do this scenario so you can do it earlier? There's some pros and cons to it. There's definitely a culture shock when you go back both ways. And is it worth it? So these are some of the things I want to touch base on this particular video. Because they actually do affect you after a while. You know, I've been noticing them year after year after year, and I want to just go over that because I think it's helpful to know, and maybe there's going to be some advice that you can take away from this. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history. I've been doing this now for coming on 8 years. I literally go half the year there and half the year back. You know, and in the beginning, it's always kind of exciting to go back home and so forth. I got great friends, great family, and all this kind of stuff. And when I do come back, the weather is great. You know, it's back to different selection of foods. There's many good things, but it seems like it's getting difficult and more difficult as you're doing these culture shocks. Not only the time zone difference, is it just the weather that you miss? Is it the culture? Is it the lifestyle? Is it the price? You know, and these are all the topics I want to really narrow down on. And, you know, normally when I first come back, it's cold. Yeah, so that's definitely a shock. It takes me quite a while to adjust for that again, because it's, you know, you've been in 6 months for great weather. And here's the thing, too, after you're there for a while, like I said, both ways, you're getting set into the system and it's being rooted up and it's a brand new, you know, well, not brand new, but it's back to reality or back to paradise. So each one has its own sets of adjusting. I am now literally here back in Canada. The weather's fantastic, and that's why I'm actually making this video. So it's not just the weather. The weather's actually extremely warm again. We're hitting the 34s, 35s this particular week. So I can't complain about that. You know, so I asked myself, well, what is it? Why is it so much more on my mind, the Philippines, compared to when I'm in the Philippines to Canada? And the reality is, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's also a healthier lifestyle, and that's getting more important for me as I'm getting older as well. You know, being able to relax the mind. So I think that's a key aspect of it. The weather is an issue, yes. Culture is significantly different as well. Now, I have family and friends here, so it's not that, but somehow I think you can make more friends easier there in the Philippines than here. It's more genuine, it seems like. That's another issue that I feel that I'm missing. I think the key factor probably, again, like I said, it's going to be a combination, but I think price. I think price has a huge issue to do with it. You know, when you want to do something simple, it's going to cost you a lot of money versus in the Philippines. I can go out, you know, jump on my bike, throw a couple bucks into the tank. I'm down at the hot springs. I'm down doing a snorkeling. Let's get this straight too, guys. It's not that I do endless amount of stuff when I'm in the Philippines. It's just, you know, I can do it when I want to do it versus here. If I decide I want to do something, the restriction on the cost limits me significantly on what to do. I'm basically, you know, you can go for a walk, you can, you know, and go for a walk. But even a simple drive, you know, the fuel is expensive. And then you want to get, you know, a couple, you know, things to eat or whatever. Everywhere is expensive. So I think the real paradise part of it is that relaxed lifestyle that allows you to let your guard down in the sense of a financial buffer, if that's what it makes any sense. You feel less constricted, and you combine that with, you know, the culture, making more friends, easygoing lifestyle, less overall stress in some ways, even though it's not stressful here. You know, it feels like there's a blanket of stress here. And if you guys have anything similar or something like that you're encountering and struggling with as well, I really would love to get your point of view on that. And more importantly, what you guys do in regards to that, or even if you have thought about it. So if you haven't done this before and you're thinking about going back and forth, it takes a toll on the nerves after a while. It kind of does. You know, you don't get settled, and you just get pulled back and forth. So that's a bit of an issue as well. But I mean, overall, and then and then another thing I find myself doing a lot, like I was just talking to somebody there the other day, and they were talking about doing a little day venture, and hundred and some odd dollars, damn near $200 for the hotel, then this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, and I was discussing that with him. That particular weekend getaway, that's almost well, that is a month's rent. More than a month's rent in the Philippines. I mean, if you add in the gas and everything else, the hotel is almost a month's well, especially anything over 2 days, that's a whole month's rent. So that makes it a little harder to get comfortable on the same way of going and doing things, right? And so it's not just paradise in the sense of the weather and the beaches, because we do have great beaches here on the lakes. Okay, might not be the ocean unless I go down the coast, which I'm only a few hours away. So I think it's really that, and then the health issue as well. I notice that I feel healthier when I'm there on the foods I eat. They're less processed. I always used to think that I was getting ripped off sort of when I bought my meats because they went bad so fast. The fruits, of course, are cheaper. So these are all things, I've always said when I make some budget videos and stuff like that, and I've made some where it says, be honest with yourself, what you want. A lot of the times it's the little things that add up. When you go to a different country and start living a different culture style and everything else, these little things become significant because you don't got your home comforts or whatever it may be. So when they're out of place. But the same is true the other way around, is what I'm getting at. So I notice a significantly difference in my overall health on, again, the food, and I think it has to do with the stress as well. Again, I'm really curious what you guys think about it, or if you have a question pertaining to that. It's just a quick little video. I thought, yeah, back to reality. What is it that I really miss? What is the real aspect of what I'm missing? Because the weather's fantastic right now. I really can't complain about that. There's great people here. So what is it? And that is the hardest thing to sort of answer. There's no one simple answer. I really think it's a combination. I would, if I had to pick, I would probably say it is definitely the price. I think the freedom to be able to do things more on a whim and not break the bank gives you that, it lets you breathe, if that makes any sense. It lets you just feel more relaxed. You don't have to stress about it. You wake up one morning, okay, you're not swimming in the pool today, it's hot out, it's beautiful, this and that. And you think, oh, heck, I'm going to go snorkeling today. Haven't done that in a while. What's that going to cost me? $3, $4? Okay, let's go. And you could go on with, oh, I'm going to go to the restaurant that's got that ocean view and shoot this, catch up with some friends there and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that meal is going to cost me $10, $15 at the most. Okay, no big deal. The hot springs, the waterfalls, all these kind of stuff. Anything like that you do the same back in Canada, it feels like, okay, well, it's a $50, $100 day and up. Okay, so I think that's a hidden pressure. I don't know what you guys think. I think that's pretty much the number one if I had to pick one. And then again, it's the combination, the culture, the people are great. It's nice that you can just go out and make friends and have a decent conversation pretty much wherever you go. So that's a little reality check about going back and forth. It does feel harder every time. And I just wanted to touch base and see what you guys think about that. And hope you all have a great day. And please leave a comment. And any questions, I'm more than happy to help out. Everybody take care.